small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm right song. My power's turned up. Shining right now, I'll be strong. I'll call my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else leaves, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left.
Good evening. It's another Tuesday evening and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. Welcome to Geek Squad with your girl Adobia Brichum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. For some time now, we've been having a conversation on the road to Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit. And tonight, we will be talking about an interesting topic, and that is scaling local innovation, trust, and commercialization in Africa's AI ecosystem. So far, with all the conversations that we have had, it's leading to the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit that will be happening in September. And this evening, I have with me three gentlemen and we'll be doing the discussion. But before we get into everything, we would like to share with you what has been happening in the tech space in the past week. So take a listen to the emerging tech trends. We will be back after that.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denisia Poma AJ. In our headlines, YouTube raises monetization requirements. Also, Ford adds AI assistants to its cars. And X changes how creators get paid. Finally, Meta ordered to pay $567 million over child safety. Let's settle for the details now. YouTube is making it harder for new creators to join its partner program, raising the requirements to 8,000 watch hours or 20 million short views. The changes take effect in February 2027. Ford is rolling out an AI assistant through its mobile web that can answer questions about your vehicle, including fuel levels, towing capacity, and maintenance needs. The assistant is expected to eventually move into Ford vehicles. X is replacing its creator revenue sharing program with original content rewards, which will reward creators for original posts, videos, photos, and meaningful commentary. The new system launches September 8. Finally, a New Mexico court has ordered Meta to pay another $567 million over allegations that its platforms contributed to a teen mental health crisis. The company's total liability in the case now stands at $942 million, and Meta plans to appeal. And that's it for this week's episode of Emerging Tech Trends Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denisia Poma AJ, and I will catch you same time next week.
In the heart of Africa, a vibrant wave of innovation is building, with Ghana at the forefront. Here, AI fuels our journey. The Pan-African AI Summit returns to Ghana, igniting a flame of creativity and vision. It's a place where we shape tomorrow, with technology responding to the critical local challenges. In the heart of Africa, a vibrant wave of innovation is building, with Ghana at the forefront. Here, AI fuels our journey. The Pan-African AI Summit returns to Ghana, igniting a flame of creativity and vision. It's a place where we shape tomorrow, with technology responding to the critical local challenges we face on the continent. Participate in the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit 2026.
Everywhere you go. In the month of September, something interesting is happening, and this is for the tech ecosystem. It is about the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit. And because of that, we've been having conversations on Geek Squad leading to this particular conference that will be held. Tonight, we are going to be having a discussion, and I have my guests here with me. And the topic for tonight has to do with scaling local innovation, trust, and commercialization in Africa's AI ecosystem. I have with me three gentlemen, and we'll be getting into the conversation. The first is in the person of Dr.Nii Lante, Heward-Mills. He is a country director for Viamo, Ghana, and Liberia. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. I also have with me Ayitey Chris-Quaye. He's the founder and CEO for Moondog Technologies, and he's also a co-founder for Neutral Homes. Isaac, you're welcome.
I'm amazed to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good to have you. Finally, I have Benedict Edu. He's a co-founder and a CTO for Fundit, and he's also the co-founder for Sybil Systems. Benedict, you're also welcome.
Thank you.
I have three strong gentlemen, and tonight we are going to be having a conversation talking about the road to Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit. I mean, we've been having conversations on this already in previous sessions that we have had, but our focus tonight has to do with scaling local innovation, what's happening here in our space in Ghana, the trust and the commercialization in Africa's AI ecosystem. If you are joining us, you can join the conversation on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997 055 1111 997. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook and on X. So if you want to see what is happening in the studio, you can hop onto any of our socials at Joy 99.7 FM. So for someone who has been joining the conversation or someone who has not listened in at all, we will start first with why the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit is even crucial for Africa and talking about Africa's tech narrative today. So I'll start first with Dr. I can call you Nii, right?
It's fine.
Great. So Nii, for someone who has probably just joined our conversation today, why is this even necessary, the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit, that something like this is held, talking about Africa's tech narrative today?
Well, thank you for the question. I mean, I think there's a representation of that in this room.
Yeah.
Where you have innovators and industry together in this room, different sectors. You're bringing policymakers, you're bringing innovators, founders, students, regulatory, right? And industry as well to push it forward. So it's a point where the Global South is talking about Global South problems, African problems, and finding ways to collaborate and finding ways to set Global South up, Ghana up for success in the future. So I think it's a beautiful melting pot where we can discuss our problems, our context, and see how we can use AI to harness, to solve them, and to make the best out of, I would say, the fourth industrial revolution that is upon us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is great. And I mean, like, doing the introductions, on some occasions, I can have experts come along or come around where we have conversations. But tonight's conversation, I mean, if you are listening in, you heard the introductions that were done. We have CEOs, country directors, CTOs, and we're talking about AI in Ghana right now, and that is why we are having the conversation about the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit, because some wonderful things are ongoing here, and it's just about time that we really started talking more about it and then shedding more light on that. So I'll be coming to you now, Isaac. I mean, based on everything that is happening, how can this summit help shift Africa, you know, even Ghana? Because things are really happening here. I work in a tech company, and sometimes when we build, people ask questions like, oh, like, was this done by a Ghanaian company? Things like that. It's as if they see us to be, I don't know whether we should continue being behind or
That's sad, you know.
yeah,
It's sad.
exactly. But some wonderful things are happening now. So how can this summit that is happening, right, help shift Africa from being just a consumer of these foreign built AI tools that are available, because there are so many of them and we have been consuming, but how can this summit help shift that and then give us a different narrative altogether?
You know, I'll start by saying I was on my phone yesterday and I was scrolling through my social media account and I saw this very beautiful infographics.
Okay.
On the y-axis we did have capitals being raised. On the x-axis we had a time frame. Something very interesting actually happened. We could see that during the years of industrial revolution, right, we did have the railways. We moved over to the internet. Now it's AI, and there's a dramatic increase in AI.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Billions of dollars being spent every single second, and that's a lot.
Building
And
models
honestly, it
and
keeps me
all
up at
that.
night sometimes because I'm thinking out loud, what are we doing as a continent, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the true margin for growth and impact should rather be not just those who are in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, we do have policymakers, we do have CEOs, we do have, officials as well. But also, what also happens after they leave the room as well.
Mm.
And actually, this leads me to the idea of even having like a Pan-African AI index that sort of like ranks and rates how well we actually perform. After the event, are deals closed? Right? Do we, have sponsorship
That's
going
a
on?
good idea. Yeah.
Exactly. And, we have great people on board. And thankfully, we have a Smart African CEO coming on board as well.
Okay.
We do have massive people on board. So I feel like it's now is the right time, honestly, to kick off this. And that's actually why we have this event. Exactly.
So we bring all these people together,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like talk,
Yeah.
but where exactly is the show? Like
Moving
where
to, exactly.
where are we seeing the practicality of what we're talking about? And I think this is totally different. That's why the summit is even coming off
Exactly.
in the first place. So it's important that at least for those listening in, is a chance for you, whether you're a teacher, whether you are in the tech ecosystem, whether you have words doing anything tech related, it's a chance for you to even get into the room, have these conversations, listen in and see how best you can also benefit from it, because we must all move with the change. Talking about AI like this, and you don't want to be left
Tremendous.
behind.
Yeah, you don't want to
anyway.
leave behind.
You don't want to be left behind. So by all means, people have to get into the room. So looking ahead, Benedict, and talking about this summit that is coming off, right? What is the biggest barrier that is preventing African tech startups? Like if we talk about different startups, I was giving the example of my company, for instance. What would you say is the biggest barrier that is preventing African tech startups from scaling across, not just doing something here where it's consumed by locals, but where they can scale across to different countries and continents possibly? What would you say is the biggest barrier?
So, I would say it's policy. That's what I want to say. I was at the last summit. It was a great event. And one thing I noticed was how much the questions that were coming in, people were asking, they have this particular solution. They try to scale in this country. You go here, this changes, this changes, this changes. At my startup, Civil Systems, we are building a language learning lab FEA.
Okay.
And we need to scale this across Africa. It's currently just 3. We want to scale this across Africa.
So, when you say to scale across Africa, so it will have different languages.
Exactly, Swahili, etc.
Okay.
Right? I know my my panelists are building models that are going to help us. So in the end, I'll talk to them. Don't worry.
Yes. You have to.
Yeah. So and one thing that came up a lot was the fact that there are different policy AI framework policies across Africa. But I think one thing that I see that's improving is that the AU, I think in 2025, brought in a policy that's going to try to level the playing field, that's going to have a unified policy right across board. And I'm really hoping that we get there very quickly. I see that our government launched the AI policy.
Yeah,
National
the
AI
strategy. Yeah.
And when they did launch that, you could see it's aligning very well with that policy. So we on the should I say receiving end of the policy, we the innovators, we need to try ourselves. We need to try to get ourselves in rooms like the Pan African AI Summit event, so that we can stay up to date with the policies, so that it doesn't take too long for us to adopt these policies, or should I say these frameworks, for us to say, okay, because I'm scaling Nigeria, I have to rebuild my entire infrastructure from the ground up, or maybe make certain provisions that will just delay, time to market. So this is what I think, the policy, but then I think we are making good strides already.
Okay. Isaac, the way I see you, it's as if you want to add something.
Oh
to
well,
that.
no, I do agree with the policy, honestly, and it's a pain to we the founders, because everyone say Africa is one big billion-dollar economy, but they forget that in this same Africa we have 54 different countries. From moving to Ghana to Rwanda, for example, means you're faced with an entirely different ballgame altogether.
Yeah.
Payment systems different, currency different,
Yeah.
infrastructure different, and
Yeah.
it's. I see the real issue is fragmentation, to be honest, and that's. Think of it like this: if you were supposed to be in the US, for example, right, and a startup is scaling from, let's say, Texas to Silicon Valley, let's say California, for example. If that was to be the case in the US, do you really think they will have startups doing really that good?
No.
Exactly. So I feel like this summit sort of like puts together various key people, I'll say stakeholders as well.
Yeah.
Because imagine you come and now you see, maybe let's say you're trying to go into Rwanda, for example, and you meet a landing partner in Rwanda. You don't really have to start from the scratch.
Yeah.
Really, you can just partner, right? So I see it as a way we could have very, very impactful, meaningful conversation. And as I don't want you to leave out, you have to be there.
Yeah.
You really have to be there, because the way things are going right now in Africa, it's a lot to say, honestly. It's a lot to say, yeah.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Nii, on the barriers.
Yes.
Have you faced any?
Well, speaking from the perspective of Yamo, which started in Tamale
Yeah.
and is now in 23 countries, I can speak to some of the barriers that exist, right? So,
But I like that you started in Tamale.
yes, a Ghanaian
And you are
company,
in. That's great.
Ghanaian innovation,
23 countries now.
23 countries in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East.
Great.
So, one of my panelists here was speaking about entering other countries. There's a potential avenue for collaboration with IFIE.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like this.
Right, and that's what the summit's all about.
Yeah.
Conversations, collaboration.
Yeah.
So it's increasingly, there's a lot of regulatory hurdles, right? Not just when it comes to the technology or AI, generally regulation, operating a business. That's one. Also, payment frictions across border. That's difficult. Also, as an investor, moving money out of any given country,
Payment systems.
payment systems,
Yes. Yes.
not
Yes.
easy
Can be
at
hectic.
all. So I think this the summit will be a good avenue to see how together as the African continent we should be able to discuss some of these things and work through the African Union and see if there's a way that all these things can be harmonized. Because I can tell you for a fact that these are very difficult and sort of affect daily business continuity and implementation.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, this is Geek Squad with your girl Adobia Breachum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. We are having a conversation on the road to Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit, which will be happening in September. And tonight's topic is on scaling local innovation, trust, and commercialization in Africa's AI ecosystem. You can send your message to the WhatsApp number 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. We have a message and I'll just get right to it. The question says, if Ghana built an AI specifically for Ghanaians, what would you name it and what would you want it to do? Okay, so this is for our listeners. Actually, you can go ahead and then send your response. If Ghana is to build an AI specifically for Ghanaians, what would you name it and what would you want it to do for you? Send your response to the WhatsApp number 055-1111-997. Let us hear from you. If we were to build an AI system for you, what would you want it to do and what name would you give it? Send your response to the WhatsApp number 055-1111-997, and you can join the conversation by sending a message to the WhatsApp number 055-1111-997. So I'm going to start with you now, Benedict, talking about this summit and the things that we are putting in place. How can the summit accelerate the cross-border collaboration? I know we've touched on it briefly from what we have said, but you said you were the last one that was held, right?
that's correct.
So for someone who wasn't there and, the person is listening in, how would this summit help them accelerate the cross-border collaboration among tech startups and businesses like yours in Africa?
So at the last summit, I left the summit having so many contacts with people across Africa.
Okay.
Rwanda, Nigeria, potential investors. Some of them in advanced stages that we are closing. But I think it's like you wouldn't know what is out there until you find out. Like, you don't know what to search for until you hear that something is there for you to say, okay, this is an opportunity for you. The last summit, for example, and I think one of the best parts of the summit is actually the coffee. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. Is the coffee breaks and then those small sessions, right?
No, I don't think you get into trouble for this.
Because you that was when I got to meet people, have certain discussions.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get to find out that, someone is building this somewhere, someone is building this technology somewhere. This is how someone was able to clear this regulatory milestone that you weren't thinking about. Someone would say, you can actually incorporate in this country because they give some tax reliefs, and then it helps you to scale to this market in Europe and US, right? But then you are perhaps building it out from Ghana. You have an ECOWAS passport. Perhaps you could do things in, Nigeria, for example, and you wouldn't even know that is a possibility. So I really think it's about being present in some of these summits and these events, because once you are together, a lot of things happen, especially when you're having brilliant people across the continent attending this event. It makes it very easy for you to stay up to date with, some of the things that are happening across, for you to take advantage and then collaborate.
Great. I'll come to you, Nii. The same thing. The fact that you have already been able to open up in 23 countries.
Right.
For someone who wants to come, what would you add to this? How can they accelerate that cross-border collaboration?
Well, not even cross-border, but even internally, right? Because just before we came in here, we discussed that we just met 5 minutes ago, but there are opportunities for synergy. They are building things that Viamo would need, right? And they have knowledge that would benefit Viamo. And again, if Viamo has footprint in 23 countries, the potential to scale IFIE across the continent is there. I think cross-border, we are looking at capital. People are bringing capital, right? There are also distribution networks. There's also innovators. So you are bringing all that together, different expertise, different personas, different things that people are bringing to the space that can accelerate the journey. Because again, this is sort of a melting pot where we know what everyone else is doing and we can plug in more efficiently. What is tech without industry?
Yeah.
It's one thing building it, but who's going to
use it?
So it's bringing all together, and our regulatory folks as well, to make sure we're doing it right.
Yes. And they're also doing their best now, at least with the things that are happening. I can see that they're trying to dig their hands into it to put some regulations in place so that we don't have things just scattered all over the place. So that's also good. I'm coming to you now, Isaac. The fact that you say you've been thinking about AI sometimes is keeping
Keeps
you...
me up at night.
Yes.
Right.
How do we shift this mindset that we have right now? The mindset of traditional African business leaders from viewing AI as a luxury expense, right? How do we shift that to moving that to viewing it as a core operational requirement that we need in our businesses? How do we change this mindset?
Honestly, I think we should install AI. No.
Okay, let us hear more about that.
A CEO doesn't really need to know exactly what transformers are, or what, let's say, these models are literally maybe 5,000 parameters or not. They don't care about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, this draws me back to when I think, discovered the city also, right? We don't care about the grid system, how many watts. What every, I think, a business owner really cares about is
the result?
the results, exactly. And these are three good things. Am I increasing productivity? That's, of course, revenue.
Yeah.
Am I reducing costs? Am I saving time? And now AI shifts from being just an add-on to being a system it plays. And you need to understand that no one really cares about exactly what you're building. It's about the results. So I think we should change the conversation around that, and also we should look into the fact that they only have two choices, honestly. Either they join the wave or they end up, regretting. It's a sad reality. So I feel like, and actually that's actually why it comes back again to the summit, because we have these conversations and we can really explain and show exactly what the output is, right? We have a chatbot, you have an intelligent layer that works upon your system. It makes this much more convenient. So, yes, my point. We shouldn't sell AI. We should just rather show the results. And I think that would gradually mean that we can now understand its workings. And slow but steady, we can adapt it.
But you, Benedict,
Yeah.
do you agree to that?
I have a contribution.
All right, sure.
Whether I agree or not, we'll find out in the contribution. So,
Let's hear that.
For example, I think when in early 2020s, I think that was when the boom started, right? AI has been around in the early 2000s, right? Group of people came together and brought money together, focused their research, and then created a competition that accelerated their development. In my startup funded, for example, we use AI heavily, but then we are not drowned in it to say, because a lot of startup opportunities are out there for AI, a lot of grants, a lot of programs, right, are out there. We just want to add a chatbot to our app and then call it some AI and just try to cash out, right? What we try to do is try to identify the pain points that our customers face. What is the most complicated or most difficult problem that you need to solve in your business? And then once you can identify it, then you look at how can you use AI to
solve that problem.
Customer support. We've a small startup. We are scaling. We raised currently around $20,000 plus, but we have a lot of pressure on our customer support. They say people struggle to add their Momo wallet when they're making deposits. What we did, we built our AI to say our AI should be able to do this on behalf of the user. Can help you add your Momo wallet, verify it, make your deposits. That was the pain point that was being faced. And then we used AI to resolve it. The app is there, all right, but people don't know how to do things. So this is how I think business owners can leverage AI to solve the most critical business problems, and not just to add it, just to make it sound like you're doing something so innovative.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, now it's like, there's AI, artificial intelligence. Everyone is just jumping onto it. So, let us get this. In fact, there was one company, it's like, this one will work. Claude, example, let's get it. ChatGPT, let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And is it really solving the problem, or is it because now there's AI, so let us just adopt and have it? And I think that's what Isaac is also saying, that we shouldn't necessarily sell it, but the key thing is the result. Like Benedict gave the example, it was a pain point that was identified, and with the AI tools, that was resolving the problems that people were having. So in that way, at least, it's not just a luxury. They can know that, no, this is doing something totally different that is beneficial to the business. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, as a small business owner as well, I would say operational efficiency, right? It allows me to have less employees. And do more. That's great for the bottom line. So operational efficiencies, I'll say number one. Customer acquisition costs, right? And at the end of the day, the bottom line. How does AI allow you to be more profitable, right? So seeing it from that perspective, operational efficiency to customer acquisition costs to penetration, market penetration. So I think we should see it. I think there's also what do you call it? A lot of the times we see AI as an intangible, right? As good to have, nice to have.
Like the luxury we're talking about.
Yes, it's innovative, it's cool, but what does it do? How does it impact lives? How does it make us businesses profitable? So I think the conversation should move also from the myth and the promise to what it is doing and can do now.
Yeah.
So yes, and breaking it down to business, I think these three.
Yes. And I believe the summit will address this too, making things more practical for people, not just the myth like you're saying, because it's very easy for people to just think about it, oh, AI, and that's
Exactly.
it. But what exactly is it doing for me? I remember teaching a friend about Meta AI, and now she's just so happy that she can just go to WhatsApp and she can, ask questions or search for some things and get responses to them. So how really are we using it? How practical is it for us? It really comes to play here. And it's good that this summit is going to be held at least to draw people's attention to it. I'll stay with you here, Nii. So talking about where you started from, where your business, Tamale, how do we ensure the benefits of AI actually reaching rural and undeserved communities? How do we do that? Rather than just focusing or remaining in confined areas like more
Right.
urban areas. How do we
I love
do
that
that?
question, and that speaks directly to what Viamo does. So Viamo is an ICT for development, a voice company. We like to think that we are the number one voice IVR company in the world. Nobody else is in 23 countries. Nobody else is in 23 countries,
Okay.
right? In
Okay.
Africa, Asia, and the Middle East.
Okay.
Ghana Innovation.
Okay.
So what we do, as much as it is techie, we serve the last mile with voice solutions, information, in Twi, Ghana, Ewe, Hausa, and across Africa, Swahili, Pakistan, all these countries. But in Ghana, 6 languages, right?
Okay.
Our model is working with mobile telecom networks. So last Friday, we launched with MTN Ghana, 231. So
Okay.
everybody on 231 can dial in and access 5 languages. You can access information on health, agriculture, gender, even listen to multimedia content. Multimedia is one of our partners on that. We also have it on 321 Telecell. So our solution is quite basic in reaching to the very last mile and allows inclusion access. That's why for language providers, people who are working on Twi and Hausa for AI, we work closely with them. We actually do have AI for YAM phones.
Oh, okay.
Yes, over a phone
interesting.
call.
Okay.
We're implementing it in 22 projects across 12 countries. So you call in, ask a question over a YAM phone, and get an answer in real time. I would not discuss exactly what we're doing in
I
Ghana
understand.
on that. However, we have full-scale projects in Pakistan where 200,000 people have asked questions and received an answer in real time on a YAM phone. So to answer your question, accessibility, inclusivity, and last mile, breaking it down to a point where over a simple voice call in Hausa. Yeah, by the way, we are doing this in Hausa in Nigeria. AI,
Okay.
Hausa in Nigeria.
Okay.
The farmer can ask about weather, about farming calendars, about sowing seeds. And the pregnant woman can ask about vaccination and antenatal care and the nearest hospital. So this is a different use of AI to the population, but this is an example of how we can tailor solutions that cater to the bandwidth, phone ownership, literacy levels, and the general context of Africa. Yeah.
That's a good one. At least you're considering people and then including them as well, the undeserved communities and then the rural areas.
Yes.
I think that's great. That's great. And all this is about the Road to Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit that will be happening in September. Tonight I'm having the conversation with Dr.Nii, Lante, Heward-Mills, Isaac, Ayitey, Chris-Quaye, and Benedict Edum. Isaac, I'm coming to you now. I mean, for you, I'm going to be on you because of the AI thing. So just get ready for me. Yeah. But I mean, based on what has been shared so far, how do we ensure, right, that or let's talk about the tech startups. Okay. The speed of deploying rapid AI innovations with maintaining software reliability and security. Like, how do we strike some kind of balance between these two? Because sometimes, like I was giving an example of a company, oh, this is up, let us just get it. That one is, oh, this is new. Oh, Claude is really doing some things. Can we just go ahead and then have that? But how can tech startups balance the speed of deploying rapid AI innovations with maintaining software reliability and security? How can they do this?
I think that's a very interesting question, to be honest. what I would say is, first and foremost, Africa isn't Silicon Valley with palm trees, right?
Yeah.
I've written about that some time ago. We live in a very different world and a very different terrain. And the analogy here is quite simple, right? I'm sure we all know Formula One, right?
Yeah.
These cars move extremely fast.
Yes.
But having a very fast car and a very good driver doesn't essentially mean he wins the race. Because you need to have a system in place to, replace the tires.
Yes.
To, check the engine, whilst it's on the
whole
race.
team.
Exactly, the whole
Exactly.
team. And that is something we have to look into, right, as a continent. But the whole point here is two things here. Some product or some projects doesn't necessarily require the same amount of consequences as the others. So, for example, let's imagine you're building a chatbot, right? You can probably make a mistake, ask the AI to do maybe Instagram, what do you call it, content for you, right? Correct it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But think of it, for instance, you're building a health system. There's no room for error. You need to be precisely accurate. Exactly accurate. And
Yeah.
I would say it goes down to consequences. So my point here is we should evaluate, right? Depending on the work we're doing, does this project require what do you call it, solvency, or does it require risk, or is it something you can actually just, ship quickly, reiterate quickly? It all goes down to these two factors in place. So when we can understand these two differences, now we can streamline development to match it. And I think that's where it comes in place to know that policies are not there to slow us down, but rather it should be designed such that based on the innovation you're working on, you can implement specific strategies in place to make sure they are compliant. And I think that's really how to solve this issue we currently have in the country or as a continent.
That's cool. The policies are supposed to enable us.
Yeah,
It should
right.
be an enhancer for the things that we are building.
Right.
If you are joining us, we are talking about how we can scale our innovation, the local innovations that we are doing, and then also commercialize Africa's AI ecosystem. You can send a message to the WhatsApp number 05511111997 if we were to build an AI tool for you, Ghana, something specifically for Ghana. What would you call it, and what would you want it to do for you? Send your response to the WhatsApp number 05511111997. We'll begin reading some of the responses that you have sent. Coming to you now, Benedict, how can the local tech hubs that we have, there are quite a number of them, and for you being a co-founder and at least starting something, how can the local tech hubs leverage the momentum of this summit that is coming? I know you've benefited from it in a way. So how can they leverage the momentum of this summit to sustain long-term mentorship program? This is talking specifically about mentorship. How can they do that?
So I mentioned earlier in my submission that you don't know what you don't know until you find out. right?
Exactly.
So for the tech hubs, right? It's not just the people that are in charge, but then also the people that they are training, right? So for the people that are in charge, if they find themselves at the Pan-African AI Summit, which I highly encourage them to do so, what they would find is basically being up to the trends or the industry standard trends on AI tools, AI policies, AI innovations, right? Once they are able to, they get this exposure, right, and they understand exactly what's happening across the ecosystem, it would be much easier for them to impact that onto the rest of the people that they are training, right? Not every single person in Ghana who's in tech would be at that event.
Yeah.
But then for those of us who would be present, right, we have a responsibility to also make sure that we pass on what we study, what we learn to others.
Exactly.
So especially for the tech hubs, right, especially the leaders of the tech hubs, it's very imperative for them to be there for their own sake, for the sustenance of their own business.
Yeah.
And then also just to empower the young people who are also coming up building their innovations to stay up to date with the latest trends, right? AI is moving so fast. A lot of things, you learn this thing at this time, the next time it's outdated.
It's
right?
changed, yes.
So
True.
you cannot have someone who's teaching you something that's outdated, even
Yeah.
if it's a year.
Yeah.
It's not good enough, right? So I think it's imperative that leaders in these tech hubs and even startup founders should find themselves present at the event.
It's just about being present.
Yes.
That's the key thing. All right. Coming to you now, Isaac. Many tech conferences happen. I said earlier, sometimes it's just talk, and where exactly lies the implementation? Many tech conferences produce great panel conversations, but then there's little implementation, like as to where exactly the work is going to happen. We don't necessarily see it. So how can African leaders and founders turn the summit's outcome into measurable economic growth? I think you spoke about it
I spoke about this earlier already in a bit. Yeah.
Exactly. So just give us some more details on how can they really practicalize that?
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to say, that I think we should completely change the entire metric of how we analyze or, rate an event.
Yeah.
Completely, because it's not really only about the people who come, right? You have events with, industry players. I mean, I've been to a couple of events, and, there's a lot of these events out there. But we should be asking ourselves this very important questions. At the end of the day, maybe after 1 year, for example, did any startup raise funding?
Mm-hmm.
How many jobs has been, created so far? How many landing partners? For example, you connect with a Rwanda partner or a Nigerian partner. How many landing partners have actually been forged? And then there are a lot of metrics you can put in place. Or I even suggested, as a strategic partner as well, Mundog actually is a partner, we could look into something like an index.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So at the end of the year, we can actually come together and say, okay, yeah, we raised X amount of money,
Yeah.
And that's quite interesting. I think we're actually getting there, honestly. That's what we're putting together, because now we have the people, we have the team, we have very great founders on board coming. So I believe we're at a point we can truly say that, yeah, we are making a great impact. And this is not just going to be like a different event. This is something extremely unique. So I would say we're in a step in the right direction. We just have to make sure we can move, because AI is about speed.
It's about speed.
It's about speed, honestly.
You can't be in the same lane
You
for a
can't be
very
in the same
long
lane for a long
time.
time, you can't.
So you have to just move.
Twice as fast to be at the same spot.
Yes. And I, like you're saying, now measuring impact is so important for any venture that you take. Like, we need to see the impact, and it's about time we also started really documenting, putting the numbers, like having good stats to say that, okay, this is really the outcome based on this conversation that we had. So yeah, by all means, so that it doesn't just end up as, oh, that was a good conference, oh, that was a good conversation, and that's it. But we can follow up and determine that, yes, we've managed to have this kind of impact on the society or the country as a whole. That's great. Now, Nii, based on the work that has been done, I mean, from your company, what you have done so far, will we say that Africa currently is building tech for its most pressing domestic problems? Will we say that, or are we just copying global tech trends and then doing some things that doesn't necessarily fit our local realities?
Before I answer that, I just want to drop this one.
Okay.
So we set up Voice AI for Ghanaians.
Okay.
To test it out, right? To see how the farmer in the north or the fisherman in the south would engage with it. First contact with AI, that's what I call it. Interestingly, 45% of questions were about education. The second group of questions were around psychosocial, mental support. But a significant amount of Ghanaians used AI to pray. I'll leave it at that. We can talk about that later.
Interesting.
It's a representation of the society, what matters to the society. That will take us on a tangent about the ethics of AI and prayer and religion, but that's a conversation for another day. So back to your question, I think we have innovators in this room who are building problems that are closest to them, right? Problems that are grounded in context in Ghana, that are solving Ghanaian problems. I don't believe your solutions are geared towards the global north or based on what somebody else is doing. And what we've realized is that if the solutions are not grounded in context and there isn't an actual need, it becomes a solution only on paper.
Yeah.
So I do believe the ecosystem is thriving. There are a lot of innovators, there are a lot of founders, there are a lot of startups that are doing a lot of great work to solve local problems. So I believe it is, although there's a lot of inspiration globally from solutions in Silicon Valley and Asia, but definitely innovators are doing quite well here.
Got it. Benedict, based on this, would you say that people should start building from scratch, or they can build? Why are you laughing?
It's funny because we literally
had a discussion about that.
Oh, okay.
outside.
Then let us hear it.
Yeah, so Windows Technologies, they are building their AI from scratch.
Okay.
Civil Systems with AFA, we are leveraging built models.
Okay.
I think it really depends on the products, the product you are trying to build. It's not every product that requires you to build from scratch, right? We at FEA, we are building a language learning app to connect Ghanaian diaspora to their cultural roots.
Okay.
And since we launched, we are currently #1 in the US App Store, and we have, 13 users from 13 different countries from Asia and across the world. And when we were starting out building this, one of the biggest things we're thinking about is people want to be able to pronounce words properly. It's not just about learning the language. They want to learn the culture. They want cultural context. And through that, right, we realized that it's going to be a monumental task for us to try to build an AI model from scratch. But we checked across the even in Ghana, the ecosystem, we realized that there's so many companies building a lot of really good models that's going to help with automatic speech recognition and tonal recognition and all of that. So what did we do? We just leveraged the models that have already been built. And then as a result of that, we've created a business that has employed people that's actually making an impact. Contrary to that, at Funded, we are trying to build a credit scoring system to help everyone have access to reliable credit.
Okay.
So currently, credit is only given to people who are more or less in the corporate, right? People who have stable jobs, their salaries can be tracked and all of that. But that's all the metrics that you need for that. So in that case, we need to build from scratch. We need to build a credible credit scoring engine. And in that case, that's when you build from scratch. So I think it really depends on the product you are building and then the direction you take.
Yeah. That's really it. So it's not cast in stone that it has to be this way. Like, we don't want to copy anybody at all, but depending on what you are building, you can build on an already existing one, or you can build from scratch. What has that been like for you, Isaac, building from scratch? Since he has given the perspective of leveraging other models, what has that been for you?
Well, I mean, we don't always build from scratch, I mean, you build from scratch where you're looking at sovereignty, for example.
Okay.
Right, and then you'd rely on open source where you're looking at leverage. We see what Kimi is doing, Quinn. These Chinese are doing amazing things.
Yeah.
And what we actually do at Moondog, right? We're into software and infrastructure. But beyond that, we developed a coding model. And the truth is, why should we do this? Because there's Claude, there's OpenAI, and all of that. We realized that it's like a toll booth, these companies are running on trillion of parameters. And in the end, they ship the cost to you. You're paying expensive on credits. Even if you don't have a good system, you can't even run some of the infrastructures in place. So what we did was that we trained a 5B model. We fine-tuned it.
Okay.
We iterated, more like distillation in a way, and then we were able to come up with something that produces exactly the same quality as Claude, and that is the Moon AI. So I would say it's a balance between, just like you said, between building from scratch, right, and obviously relying on open source. And I would say it goes down to sovereignty, because right now data is the real gold. But the question is, who is Galam saying it?
I like that.
Exactly.
Who is digging it out?
Exactly.
I have a response based on the question that we asked. If Ghana was to build an AI tool for you, what would you call it, and what would you have it do? So this is from, the name is Shaibu. I'm seeing Shaibu. Okay, it said, I will go by the name Okasha. I hope I'm mentioning the name well, but this name hopefully can stick to our minds. So, Kasha, all right. He said Ghana building sovereign AI can enable it to be the tech leader in Africa. Think of AI as electricity. I think Isaac gave that example earlier. The invention of electricity contributed trillions of dollars to the world economy. We having our own compute will allow the government to distribute compute to health startups and businesses. at much cheaper rates rather than depending on international ones. We have the talent here. A small team at Kaya AI built an AI model that even Google couldn't match. We having our own compute will breed startups to tackle engineering projects, nuclear energy, satellite launch vehicles, cheap drugs, and build solutions. If the government is serious, the focus should be on getting petaflops compute and give the compute out to startups at a fraction and see unicorns that will emerge in this country. Okay, so computers, all right. Thank you for that. Okay, I also have another message. Says my contribution is we just need data, from language to reasoning to health, and with that data we can benchmark even the global models to fit our data, because data is like a digital twin of us. Okay, I get that. All right, this one also says, so you want locally relevant AI ideas and name suggestions? Yes. All right, then. Good topic series. Congrats to Viamu on local language AI for feature phones. So this one is to you, Nii. All right, thank you so much for sending your messages through to us. All right, so I mean our time is almost up, so we'll just be wrapping up with some.
Can I quickly add that we
Sure.
asked the same question on an AI tool in Ghana?
Okay.
What came up tops? A name for an AI, Nimdie
Nimdie.
and Asempa.
Oh, okay.
That's what came up tops.
Okay.
So I just want to put that out there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nimdie and Asempa. Yeah. I mean, we have co-founders, founders, and CTOs here. So who knows? Maybe you can think about bringing something.
You can't adopt it.
Hey, you've already taken it out.
Taking.
All right.
Okay, so for someone who wants to attend the summit, how can they do this? Any of you can share that with us, where they can register.
I think it's you can just go to panafricanAIsummit.com.
Okay.
It's free to register as be a delegate, and there's gonna be a lot you're gonna learn. I'll be there if you want to meet me. Dr.Nii will be there. Everyone at the panel will be there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really great because I think this is something that Ghana needed. I love that Ghana is leading the
The
AI
conversations,
charge in Africa, and yeah, it makes me very proud. So I'll be there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Final words from you, Isaac.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what I would say is whatever solution you do have, right, you should find a way to tailor it to the unique need of the continent. Basically, because you cannot afford to slap a foreign product into the African market. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And we've experienced it firsthand. I mean, we built newer homes. If you can build a smart home system in Ghana and make it work, it means you've done a big work. Because you realize that we don't have internet connectivity. We have, low power out. There's a lot of challenges here. So, and I would always take M-Pesa, for example, as a good example, because they didn't say, hey, learn how to use a smartphone, or you have to own a smartphone, or you need to understand the banking system, for example. They built more infrastructure which we already have.
You met people where they
Exactly. So we should meet them where they are, and then it's going to help create a very sustainable and inclusive solution. And you actually have to come to the AI summit, because this is like Michelin standard. We're looking at something bigger than just a summit.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. So
for people to be there.
Exactly. You should be part of the room.
Be present.
Be present.
Be
The
present. That's
ecosystem
cool.
needs to be present. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nii.
I would say if you're
20 seconds.
If you're an AI enthusiast, it's a place to be. Innovator, if a founder, or you're thinking about starting, it's a place to be. An excellent melting pot for AI, and a blueprint for years to come that will shape the ecosystem in Ghana. So thank you for having us.
Great. Very big thing. Oh, okay. 10 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much for joining me, Benedict, Isaac, and Nii. This has been a conversation about the road to Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit, scaling local innovations, trust, and commercialization in Africa's AI ecosystems. This has been your girl, Adobia Brichum, and a very big thank you to my producer, Prince Safo, Anita, and the entire technical team. Up next is news by Michael Ashali, and then Kofi Hayford with Overdrive. Goblin next week. We will be back. Stay tuned.
In the heart of Africa, a vibrant wave of innovation is building, with Ghana at the forefront. Here, AI fuels our journey. The Pan-African AI Summit returns to Ghana, igniting a flame of creativity and vision. It's a place where we shape tomorrow, with technology responding to the critical local challenges we face on the continent. Participate in the Pan-African AI and Innovation Summit 2026 and become a change maker in your community. Let's create solutions that touch every individual's life. Visit www.panafricanAIsummit.com for more information. With Ghana at the forefront. Here, AI fuels our journey. The Pan-African AI Summit returns to Ghana, igniting a flame of creativity and vision. It's a place where we shape tomorrow, with technology responding to the critical local challenges we face